What's up, friends? Gary here. Just want to make a video today. I really want to video journal and make a journal just to kind of talk about myself, talk about my story, talk about my beliefs. I want to get a lot of the information that's out here, and I want to get it into the real world. I've always been a thinker. I've always just been such a deep thinker. A big part of my program is to always ask questions of everything. Don't believe what other people tell you until it makes sense, until it works for you. And I think a big reason why I've always been a big thinker was because really growing up, I was always alone, spent a lot of time by myself. I didn't have any older brothers, no younger brothers. I just had one sister. We would hang out. I have some memories about my sister, a lot of really good memories, and a lot of fights too, but we've overcome that, so I'm not even going to focus on that. So I used to spend a lot of time alone. I remember I used to play karate and ninjas a ton in my backyard, and I just was always in my head, And I'll be honest, I think that I've always been around mind-altering substances, not to be, for real, my parents are the most wonderful people that I've ever met on the entire planet. I just love them so much. I just adore them, and just for the way that they raised me, and because obviously I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for them and their programming. Because what we are is we are like computers. And when we come into this world, we have a clean slate. I also believe that we bring some pre-existing programming, because all we're trying to do is get better and better and better. If you look out into the physical world, everything has gotten better and better and better. And just over the past century, maybe the 1800s, but I don't really know exactly, but we're really starting to discover who we are. We've really discovered this non-physical inner world of ours, where our mind is, where our thoughts are, where our emotions are, and that's a very powerful world that we're diving into. And so I have so many great memories being a kid. My parents were just such fantastic people. I just remember one big thing was just tons of affection, tons of, compliments, praise, just between my parents. My dad would always tell me, my dad just has always adored my mom. That's something that was always programmed into me, that I always saw around. So, I'm just so blessed to have such a great life. I've had such a great life. And I've had things happen in my life that have taught me some really powerful lessons that, again, I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for going through those experiences and learning those lessons out of the end of that period of time. So for me, what I believe is that this is a 3D holographic virtual reality game that we play. We all come together and we co-create it based on words, based on ideas, because that's what consciousness is. Consciousness is ideas. It's the awareness of the outside world, and we have the ability to go out into that outside world and manipulate it by building buildings, by building cars, by building all this stuff. We came up with that idea, and we go into nature and we take out of nature the things that we need to create the ideas from our minds, from our inner world. We've learned how to take different elements and mix them together to make other elements. That is fucking nuts. We have so much power, and we're just coming into that. We're just people like me, and I have a lot of other friends that think like me. We're on the cutting edge of information. We're on the cutting edge of thought. Okay? At one point, every human being, at least from what history tells us, I think the history you learn in school, school is just breeding ignorant people. People who don't ask questions, people who don't know the meaning to words that they're using. Okay, because that's what this world is. It's a world of words. Every single thing has a definition, and it has a word that describes what it is. And the larger, the bigger your vocabulary is, the more that you understand in this world. Okay? And so, see, I told you I was going to ramble. So, back to my story. Grew up, just kick-ass life, you know. I really do. I believe I have great karma, and that's why I am where I am, because I'm all about, I believe that this is a world of emotions. Okay, I'm a Cancer, I'm a very emotional person. I've had to deal with, you know, a big swing of emotions for long periods of time. Okay, from like middle school until my mid-20s, like I dealt with some crazy emotions, inner emotions. Like I haven't dealt with grief, I haven't dealt with anybody dying around me, thank goodness. And when it comes, I think I have a different perception of death. So I don't know how it will affect me, because my earliest experiences of death, like I had a turtle that died when I was a very young kid, I had a hamster that died as a very young kid, and I wasn't really very emotionally attached to the experience. Like it didn't really hurt me. And I've had experiences literally myself where I've experienced, I know what it's like to die. I know where you go when you die. It's not, I have theory. I know with absolute knowledge. And I'm not trying to sell you my beliefs. I don't care what you believe in. As long as you're a good person, you're in the right direction. But for me, the emotions I felt were worthlessness, depression, suicidal thoughts. I hated myself. Hate is a very destructive emotion. And I hated myself. Hated. I hated looking in the mirror. It sucked. You know, but I got through it. And man, getting through it, the experiences that got me through it were the experiences that gave me the power to be the person that I am today. And for that, I'm grateful for it. I'm very grateful, because I made a quantum leap in my evolution. And what a quantum leap is, let's write that down, because that's an important word. Quantum leap. I made a quantum leap in my conscious evolution. Okay, what does that mean? Consciousness, my awareness of not only the outside world, but the inside world. I made my conscious evolution shifted. And it was profound. And I've had many of these experiences. So I know I'm an expert. I mean, I've read books written by doctors who studied this stuff for years. Dr. Timothy Leary, I mean, he studied the mind. He studied, altered states of mind, alternate realities. Okay, I know what those are all about. I'm down with that. Okay, I made a quantum leap in my life, and when I made that quantum leap, when I went through those experiences that allowed me to make that quantum leap, I discovered who I truly am. Okay, if you've seen any of my other videos, especially the video series I'm doing right now, the 7 spiritual laws of success, the first law is a law of pure potentiality. That is what you are. That is what I am. I am not this body. I am not this voice. I am pure consciousness, pure potentiality, pure anything I put my mind to, I can do, and so can you. Period. But what's happened, especially in Western culture, is we've been brought up and we get put into a system that breeds ignorant people. They don't think about it. The government, the United States of America, okay, that it's an organization that's all about creating profit, creating money for the people who run it. Okay, now I'm not going to get off on that rant either, but what I'm saying is, really, look at the United States of America's educational system. What are they programming into your children? Because there's no way my kids would ever be raised even in that system, period. Because I don't want ignorant people, people who don't ask questions, people who don't question authority. Okay? You have infinite potential. There's no one more powerful than you. But we've learned to be afraid of this bigger power, and we give that power away. But what I had a quantum leap, and I discovered who I truly am on the inside. I really just I discovered just such a deep, profound, real love for myself and for every person on this planet, regardless of creed, regardless of faith, regardless of anything, because we're all the same. We're all the same. And my goal and my purpose when I had that quantum leap was that I am here for a purpose. And my purpose is to help educate, help bring other people up, to do my very best to develop myself in every area of my life. To develop myself in every area of my life to the highest possible standards that I can. And then to help uplift other people, because it will spread like wildfire. If I have ultimate health, okay, if I have ultimate health, meaning that I find the fountain of youth, okay, ultimate wealth, okay, meaning that I have the ability to do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, wherever I want. That's true wealth for me, because wealth is the only thing that will buy you freedom. Okay? And you have to have the health to make the wealth to get the freedom, period. It almost should be like health, wealth, freedom, because all these things are symbiotic, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay? But not wealth, but wealth. Okay? So at least in the current game that we're playing. Okay? I believe within the next 10 years the total infrastructure of the planet will change. And I'm going to have a big part to do with that. Because I know what I believe in. And I know what I want, and I want for everybody. I want everybody to have unlimited health, unlimited wealth. Okay? The best love in relationships. Okay? To relate to one another. To spend time with one another. To love one another. Okay? And the greatest expression of love is to give. Give gifts, give time, give kind words, give touching, affection. And you can't do that when you're stressed out, when you don't have any money, when you spend 12 hours a day on a hamster wheel just trying to put food, clothing, and shelter on your family and in their bellies. Okay, you can't really develop relationships to a high level. The #1 cause of divorce in America, in the United States of America, okay, understand there's a big difference between North America and the United States of America. Understand those two words, there's two totally different definitions. One is a country, one is a corporation, or a entity. We'll learn about that in some more future videos. But relationships. So, next is spirituality, having a connection to a higher spirit, okay, spirituality, having a connection to the power that is greater than you, whatever you want to call it. Okay, there's a million different names, they all describe the same thing. Okay, just like the word door. Door might have a million different ways to say it, but it all means the same thing. So I don't care what you call it as long as you have a connection to it. As long as you're a good person, you don't mean other people harm, and you're trying to do better in your life, you're a spiritual person. You can't help it. We are spirits having a physical experience. We're all spiritual. You cannot help not being spiritual. But when you connect to that higher, whatever you want to call it, again, God, Allah, Abraham, Krishna, I don't care. It's all the same. Okay? And then personal growth. Or self-actualization. Personal growth or self-actualization. Okay, self-actualization means that you are fulfilling your purpose, or the law of Dharma, which is the last spiritual law of success, the law of Dharma, fulfilling your purpose in life. Every single person on this planet has a purpose. whether it's being a musician, whether it's being an artist, whether it's being a teacher, whether it's being a lover, whether it's being a creative person, whether it's a race car driver, it doesn't matter. Everybody has something that they can do at a higher level than anybody else on this planet. That is when you are in self-actualizing. That is when you are in your dharma. And that is when you're personally growing. How can I become the very best that I can be for the betterment of everybody else? Okay? You cannot even get to this level until you've taken care of those levels. Okay? And, you know, going back is that I really being an emotional person is that, you know, when my emotions changed, everything in my life changed, you know? So, yeah, some good stuff so far. So, you know, I've talked about a lot of stuff in all the other videos, but, you know, kind of just going back to me is, you know, I had those experiences, and now what I really believe we are is each individual person is like an antenna. Like an antenna that comes out right here. Okay, and what it does is it picks up energy, thought energy. Okay, that is what is responsible for your thoughts. Do you know where your thoughts come from? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever even thought about where your thoughts come from, where they originate? Do you create them or do they create you? Think about that. So like, what happens is, it's like your radio in your car. Okay, there's these waves, thought waves, going through the universe, or going through this reality. Okay? And what's through these are emotions. Okay, those are different levels of emotion. Okay, so like, let me give you an example. I mean, I know these off the top of my head. So let's say the bottom one is hopelessness. Hopelessness. Or worthlessness. Those are just absolutely destructive emotions. They are literally killing you. Okay, depression, guilt, okay, anger, guilt or resentment, okay, resentment, guilt, anger, okay, then maybe like pessimism. But what happens is that each one is more relieving than that one. So hopelessness and worthlessness, they feel worse than depression. So when you're depressed, you're one level above hopelessness and worthlessness. When you're feeling guilty and resentful, or having resentment, you're one step above. It's actually anger would go right here. So because depression is anger turned inward. Okay, and anger is expressed outwards. Anger, hatred, those are expressed outwards. So me, depression, I was depressed, I didn't like myself, I hovered in these areas, you know? And it doesn't matter what your outside world look like, because I'll be honest, I've always been really good at making money, always. I mean, money just always flows to me. Man, when I was a little kid, I mean, my parents first, I don't even think I asked them, to be honest. I never asked for to do anything, I just did it. And so when you watch that, my mom already knows, so it doesn't really matter. I would ride my bicycle down to the gas station, and I'd buy candies 10 for $1. And then I'd come home and I'd sell them to all the neighborhood kids. Make money. I've been making money forever. So my point is I've always had money and always had the ability to buy things, but your outside world can be deceiving. A person's outside world can be deceiving. We put so much happiness. We associate so much happiness to, I shouldn't even do that. I don't even know why I do that, but outside physical, material things and wealth, we associate a lot of like, oh, that person's happy because they drive a nice car and they live in a nice house. Well, you don't know. You don't live in that person's world. It could be totally feel worthless, hopeless, depression, and they're covering it up. Like going to work for like 20 hours a day or something. Okay? So me is, man, I know what it's like. I lived in these areas for, geez, a decade almost. You know, probably actually more than about a decade. About a decade. Because I would say like 7th grade, 8th grade, man, yeah, I really just, it sucked. You know, because I didn't feel like I didn't really feel like I was understood, and then it kind of, just things changed. It doesn't matter because, man, I feel great now, like I'm super happy, because now I'm moving on up. So from here we got pessimism, and then, let me try to find that thing real quick. It's right in my book, so. It's really good stuff, so just hold on one second. Son of a bee sting. Anyways, okay, so like pessimism, and then let's just skip a bunch and let's go up here. So we've got like faith, we've got love, joy, appreciation, you know, but then up here at the top, okay, we've got like gratitude. Okay, you got like unconditional love. Okay, those are very high vibrating emotions, because every emotion that you feel puts out an energy through your body. Your body emanates energy. It emanates it. It's been proven. People have taken pictures of things like auras and stuff like that. That's just the energy that you are emitting. Okay, so someone like Nelson Mandela, that amazing person from Africa. I don't really know anything about him. I just know that he's a good person. As far as I know, I don't really know him personally, so who knows? But anyway, you know, our goal is to try to come up to these levels, because they are just such powerful emotions. You have so much power to create, because what happens is we create this reality, and everything we do on the outside world is so that we can try to feel these feelings: happy, joy, love, gratitude, freedom, contribution, unconditional love. These feel terrible, and they hurt you, they kill you, they create cancer, they create dis-ease in the body. Break that word up, think about it. Dis-ease, a body that's not at ease. This is at ease. Man, if you think about it, try to, right now, close your eyes and just listen to my words, okay? Can you think of a specific memory in your life where you felt absolutely happy, joyous even, just, oh my gosh, you felt just absolutely incredible. Think about that time. Try to create an image on your mind. Try to create the words that were said. Think about that. Think of the way that you felt in your body when you had that experience of absolute bliss. Okay? That is what we're all striving for. Okay? And what happens is that there's this energy that flows through the universe. We tune into it all the time through our radio. Frequencies. Okay? We tap into that. And what happens is, when you tap into that information, or that's exactly what happens, you get information. Okay? You know your purpose in life. You're growing at an exponential level. So that then we can turn around and we can help other people experience that. We can uplift other people. Because wouldn't you want, I know I do, I believe that we aren't here to, we're not here to struggle. Life is not meant to be struggle whatsoever. There's just so much struggle going on in the world. It's not supposed to be like that. You know, there's just a certain amount of the information was being kept. I mean, there's a long time where most people didn't even know how to read. Think about that. The illiteracy rate on the entire planet for, I mean, at least 1,000 years. 1,000 years. Think. We have the internet. I mean, we have information that's bombarding us. So we're constantly being downloaded with this information. We can go anywhere. We can find out anything we want to grow, to better ourselves, to go out into this world and create it the way we want it to. But what's happened is that there are certain people on this planet that they don't want that. They want control. They want to hold on to an old way of doing things. Okay? It's not going to happen. We have to change. We have to grow in order, because that's what I want. I want for everybody on this planet to be full of love and gratitude and harmony. Okay? Rather than competition and greed and carelessness, not only for one another, but for this planet. Think about it. Most 90% of the people on the planet, I bet, because we're all guilty of it. If you drive a car, you're guilty of it. If you use paper like that we're cutting down trees, I don't want to sound like a hippie or anything, but man, that's really the truth. There are much better ways of doing things, and we're not doing it. Like hemp. I can't believe these things are outlawed. Actually, I can, because that's an old paradigm. It's going to break up. It's going to leave. Because people are going to start making quantum leaps. You don't have a choice anymore. Okay? The information, that frequency, it's flowing faster. It's flowing higher because we need to grow. We need to grow. We need to evolve. Okay? So either you're going to grow and evolve, or you're going to die off. Because that's exactly what's happening is in evolution, the weaker of the species is going to die off. People who are willing to take on new information, people who are willing to accept new ideas, better ideas, out of pride of holding on to old ideas, old beliefs, you're going to get wiped out. Because I wish I knew that saying. There's a really good saying. It's like, people who aren't willing to change their thinking are going to adopt I don't know, man, that was such a good quote, but I don't remember it now. So, I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, you aren't just going to get to a certain level of health and say, oh, I'm here, I'm here, I guess that's checked off. There'll always be more you want to experience. If you have unlimited wealth, you can go out and experience so much, unlimited. You're not limited by money. There's always more and deeper love when you are free. When you have the freedom to take your family anywhere in the world and express your love to them and always be around them and give them your time and your affection and your praise and your support. Okay, man, think about that. If you didn't have to work and you could be with your kids all day long, loving them, supporting them, just having fun because you weren't worried about money. Okay, think of how much you could give back to the entire planet, because through spirituality is how you access these emotions. Because here's the thing, all of these emotions create an action. When you're living at gratitude, when you're living at unconditional love and appreciation and joy, you want to give back. Okay, but when you're living in worry and anxiety, okay, because it's almost like you could tell a person's results. By their fruits you shall know them, and by their fruits you shall know the emotions that they live in. Again, just because someone has money, they might not have their health. And if they don't have their health, it's because they're making choices based off of lower emotions. When you're living at these emotions, okay, when you're living at unconditional love, gratitude, appreciation, contribution, you're going out, you're giving back to the community, you're volunteering, you're trying to uplift the community. Because in order to continue feeling these feelings, you have to go out and you have to do those actions. Whereas if you're worried, what happens when people get worried or anxious? Anxiety runs rampant in this country. What do? They take drugs, whether it's Ritalin, Prozac, any drug, anything to alter the consciousness, anything, because everything alters consciousness. A cheeseburger and a kale salad are going to affect your emotions, are going to affect your state of being just the same as a glass of beer, just as much as cocaine, just as much as anything. Everything you put in your body has an effect. I talked about it a couple days ago in the law of karma. Every single action that you make has a consequence. Eating meat versus being a vegetarian, there are consequences. I'm not advocating one or the other. I'm just saying that's a fact. McDonald's cheeseburger. You eat those consistently, your health is going to go down. That's proven. It's proven. It's garbage. Whereas if you're putting healthy, energetic food in your body, it's going to affect the way that you act. Okay? So, I think I'm probably going to be done for ranting. That was pretty good though. Yeah, this is just a little bit about the stuff that goes on in my brain hole. And to be honest, that's what happened is, man, when I was back in 2006, I had these experiences that I experienced a quantum leap in my evolution. And when I had that, I got out of the game of Monopoly. And that's what we're all playing. If you really study the rules of Monopoly and the rules of the United States of America, it's Monopoly. You even got Monopoly money. So when I understood that, it shattered that reality for me. And I got rid of everything. I sold my house, I had cars, I got rid of all of my material possessions. I got rid of all my material possessions and I started all over. I'm starting all over with this game. And I wound up with no home, no nothing, knocking on my parents' door, saying, I need to move back in. And my parents, especially my dad, man, I love you so much, is that, yeah, man, welcome me with open arms, because we're a team. Me and my family, we're a team. I love them no matter what. They love me no matter what. They know I'm crazy. They know I'm into some weird ass shit. They don't care, because they love me for me. They know who I am. They see, I believe, they see that my life and me as a human being, I'm getting better and better. And that's the point. I'm transcending these emotions. My dad especially, gosh, man, I just used to treat him with such disdain. And I'm sorry. I know it hurt him. And I am, man, I'm sorry. And we've made so much ground, and I believe that through my actions I've made up for that lost time. Because there was a long time where it was my fault. I treated him with such disdain and such anger, because that's who I was on the inside. That's how I felt on the inside. Those are the emotions I felt every day. And unfortunately, I expressed them to him, and he was kind of my whipping boy. My dad, crazy enough to think about, as my dad was my whipping boy. But man, I would do anything for him. I would die for him. I would definitely die for him in a heartbeat. And so, so I knock on their door, not literally, just figuratively, and I moved back in, and I literally just had a few pairs of clothes. That is it. Clothes, shoes, and I started reading books. So I had a few books. I had some notebooks and some journals because I did, man. When I had that quantum leap, I started devouring books, man, just devouring them and devouring audiobooks, and I just was downloading information. I was so hungry for it, and I still am. I still study every single day. In fact, that's my job now. And I'm so grateful that is my job, to just study and develop myself so that I can help you develop yourself. And so, I'm sitting in their room. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. I was claiming bankruptcy. I was almost going to lose a house to foreclosure. I was going through so much. So much was happening. It was almost like a bomb had hit my life and blew everything up. And I was letting some things go, and I was getting hit with shrapnel and all this other stuff, but it was teaching me so many great lessons, and it was the trial by fire, you know. I developed into a man, you know, resourceful, because I wasn't responsible before, and I mean, just for taking care of myself, like, that's a lie. I've always been really good at taking care of myself. I've always been really resourceful. I didn't know the value of, like, money. Or I was just barely getting into health, relationships. They were very superficial to me, very superficial. Except for, I would say, only with women. And I'm going to admit that. So, but now, I mean, things have changed a lot, especially in the past couple years. Spirituality, before 2006, I mean, I practiced Mormonism, and it just made no logical sense to me whatsoever. And understand my words, logical sense. I'm a scientist, I think like a scientist, I think like an engineer, I was a mechanic most of my whole life, so I take things apart, put them back together, and religion just doesn't make logical sense to me. If you're religious, like I said, as long as you're a good person, I don't really care, as long as you don't care about what I believe in. And I just believe about being a good person. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't kill people, don't be a dickhead, you know, just be a good person. It's not really hard. All of us are built with these things called like intuition, or you know when you're doing something wrong, so just don't do it. It's that easy. But you know, I really connected with my spirit when I had that quantum leaps, like next level. And personal growth, I don't even know where I'm at right now. So I moved back into my parents' house, and I'm sitting there one day in the spare bedroom, and I'm thinking, I gotta get my shit together, you know? I don't have a job. I read Think and Grow Rich, and I want to be a millionaire. That's why I quit working as a mechanic. I was making good money, but I thought, you know, I'll be honest, like these guys, they don't really want to get rich. Like my dad is my business partner, another gentleman named Greg, we're all three business partners. And you know, I wanted to get rich. I want to make millions of dollars. I didn't want to just make what we were all making there. And I just discovered I'm not going to get there from here. So I quit my job. That's when I lost everything because I didn't have any money coming in, or I didn't have enough money coming in to take care of those things. But anyway, I'm sitting in my parents' room, spare bedroom thing, I gotta get it together. And so I think about, okay, what are the, if I really want to be this badass that I want to be, that I envision, you know, if I really want to be the very best that I can be, what are the core areas of my life? And so what I did is I drew this stick figure. Okay, and I thought, okay, well first there's my health. So I drew like a healthy body, you know, some abs, some legs. I really drew this character in my parents' spare bedroom. Okay, so I drew that guy. I don't even know if you can see it, you probably can't. But I drew this body, this represented, you know, the body, you know, just a badass body, you know, in shape, immortal, you know, just kicking ass, you know, like a Greek god. And then I thought, okay, so there's health. I don't know why I'm spelling Heath today, like Heathcliff, man. And then I thought, okay, what's the next thing? And then I thought my spirit, and I really did. I drew an aura type thing, and that represented my spirit. And then, I don't know how I drew this, but I'm going to draw it now, is that money. I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind, you know what I'm saying? So, well, and then I think I drew like a crown or something. That was personal development, personal growth. But now that I'm making this video, now that I'm drawing this guy, I've renamed this. It's not personal development anymore, it's personal evolution. Because here's the thing, and there's one more Oh yeah, that's true. I drew a heart. That was relationship. Okay? So, personal evolution. Okay? Think about nature. Okay? There's only two constants in nature: death and growth. That's it. There's no middle ground. There's no such thing as stagnation. There's no such thing as you're not going to be the same. You're going to not be the same tomorrow that you are right now. In fact, this second and this second and this second and this second, constantly changing. You're either going forwards or you're going backwards. Period. You're either growing or you're dying. And that's based off of these 5 areas. Period. You're growing or dying. That's it. There's only 2 constants in the universe. Probably making a new law of the universe right now, or there could be. The law that already states that. There's only 2 constants. Creation and disintegration. Period. So my whole focus is to constantly be progressing. If it's even just 1 step per day, 1% per day. Me and a good friend Taylor, I got to talk to Tay today. Man, I got so much love and appreciation for that guy. And I remember way back when we used to sell together, is we would talk about 1% a day. That's it. 1% a day in those 5 areas. Next thing you know, a year's changed and you're a completely different person. You're getting completely different results. Your body could look totally different a year than it does today. What is today? December 10th, 2013. So a year from now, December 10th, 2014, your body could look totally different. You could feel totally different. Okay? You could have such a deep connection to your source of creation. Your whole life could be different. You could be in a fantastic relationship. Nothing is going to stay the same. That's what I'm getting at. Nothing. So I'm all about personal evolution. How can I constantly be getting better and better? How can I always be looking for that next just idea or that next little something that's going to take my life to the next level? So that I can continue living at gratitude. So I can take my gratitude to the next level. So I can take my health to the next level. Because that's what we're all about. We're growth-seeking organisms. That's why I look at everything. Look at the car. The cars have nothing but grown and evolved and changed and got better. Look at TVs. Look at the camera I'm on. It's our turn. Now we, as a human being, as a human species, now it's our turn to grow and evolve to the next level of our being. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm gonna go hit the hay so I can get up and kick some ass tomorrow. So I hope you like this video. I like making it. So this is just a video I made, you know, it's just a personal journal. Put it on the blog. Check out the blog. If you haven't been there yet, check it out. I mean, you're missing out on a lot of good stuff. You know, especially, you know, check out the link above on my blog or to the left. Is that what side it's on? Left? Yeah. Nope. Right side. My bad. Right side. Curly hippie haired dude. Check out those things. Get on board, a part of my team. I'm here to help you take your life to the next life. I got a lot of good stuff I'm working on. So, to create that wealth, to create that freedom, so you can take your health, your family, your relationships, your spirituality, everything to the next level. So, I'll see you tomorrow. We've got the law of something. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's going to be good. So, I'll see you later.